Have you ever seen vehicles that look like they're from the future? Well, get ready because we're about to show you some of the craziest ones ever made for the military. From gigantic tanks to super fast helicopters, these machines are out of this world. Are you excited to see what we've got in store? Let's dive into the world of the 12 most insane military vehicles ever created. Antisena Tank Boat. In some countries, there are many small islands scattered around a big area, like Indonesia. Indonesia has 17,500 islands, covering a huge 3,200,000 square miles. With so many islands, it's important to have ways to connect them and defend them. One special vehicle designed for this job is the Antisena Tank Boat. It's 59 feet long and built like a catamaran, which means it has two hulls. It's powered by two big 1,200 horsepower man engines. The cool thing about this tank boat is that it can carry up to 20 Marines. That's a lot of people. Right now, it's armed with a turret that has a 30mm autocannon, which is a big gun. But they're planning to make even bigger turrets that can hold a 105mm tank gun. That's huge. The boat also has a 7.62mm machine gun that's controlled remotely, so the crew can shoot from a safe spot. TOS, Wane Solnsepiak Rocket Flamethrower Vehicle. On the battlefield, armies need weapons that can cause damage from a distance. Flamethrowers used to be popular, but they didn't last long and didn't reach far. Now, many armies use automatic grenade launchers like the American Mk-19, but Russia does things differently. They have the TOS, Wane Solnsepiak, also known as the Blazing Sunday. It's like a tank, but with a rocket launcher instead of a turret. Inside, there are 24 rocket barrels. These barrels can shoot out 24 rockets in just 12 seconds. That's super fast. The TOS-1 is meant to help infantry attacks. It shoots out thermobaric rockets that create big blasts of air pressure. These blasts can damage enemy positions in a big way. It's like sending powerful shockwaves to knock down the bad guys. Russia's TOS-1 is a tough weapon that packs a punch. Jabaria Multiple Cradle Launcher. So, there's this really powerful weapon system called the Multiple Launch Rocket System, or MLRS. MLRS is like a big rocket launcher that can fire lots of rockets really quickly. Now, there are different types of MLRS vehicles. Some have a few big rockets, like the American HIMARS system, which has 6 rockets that are 227mm wide. Others have lots of smaller rockets, like the Russian BM-21 Grad, which can fire 40 rockets that are 122mm wide. But get this, there's a new kind of MLRS vehicle, and it's crazy powerful. It's called the Jabaria MLRS, and it's from the United Arab Emirates. Instead of firing 40 rockets like the Grad, the Jabaria can launch a whopping 240 rockets. That's a lot of firepower. The Jabaria has 4 big racks, each holding 60 rockets. It's built on a special platform that keeps it steady when firing, and it uses GPS to aim accurately. And get this, it's so heavy that it's towed by a special truck called the M1070 Heavy Equipment Transporter. When the Jabaria fires all its rockets at once, it can unleash a devastating 3,384 pounds of explosives. That's a huge amount of power, but there's a downside too. The Jabaria is so big that it's hard to hide from drones that scout around. So even though it's super powerful, it's not great at staying hidden from enemies. Konma, 216 main battle tank. In North Korea, their tank development hasn't been so speedy over the years. They've been more into making nuclear weapons, and their economy isn't doing so great. But in the late 2010s, they started showing off some souped-up versions of their Konma 216 tank. This new version of the Konma 216 still has its original big gun, the 115mm main gun. But guess what? They've added some extra stuff to make it more powerful. Instead of the regular 14.5mm machine gun, they put in 2 automatic grenade launchers. These are probably to scare away those pesky anti-tank missile teams from the United States and South Korea. But that's not all. They've also stuck on 2-man portable surface-to-air missile launchers. These are for taking out drones, helicopters, and planes that might try to help the enemy. And to make sure they're ready for long-range battles, they've included 2 round Bullseye, 3 laser-guided anti-tank missile launchers. That means they can hit enemy tanks from far away with precision. So, when you look at this tank, it's got a lot going on. It's like a one-stop shop for taking out all kinds of threats on the battlefield. Pretty impressive, huh? M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle. When enemies set up obstacles like trenches, minefields, or tank traps, it can really slow down an attack. This gives them time to fire artillery or bring in reinforcements to strengthen their defenses. But don't worry, there are vehicles designed to deal with these obstacles. One of these vehicles is the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle, ABV. It's like a tank, but instead of a big gun, it's equipped with a combat dozer blade or a mine plow. The dozer blade can push dirt and rubble into enemy trenches, filling them up so other vehicles can pass through easily. The mine plow, on the other hand, can clear a path through anti-personnel mines, making the area safe for friendly troops. The ABV doesn't stop there. It's got 2 linear detonation charge systems mounted on its turret. These use explosives to blow up mines along the path, creating safe lanes for other vehicles to follow. Plus, it has a lane marking system to show the safest routes through minefields, helping troops navigate through safely. So, with vehicles like the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle around, obstacles don't stand a chance.
BVS-10.
So, the BVS-10 is made by Land Systems Hägglunds of Sweden, which is a part of British BAE Systems. It's an all-terrain armored vehicle, meaning it can go almost anywhere. What's really cool about the BVS-10 is that it's fully amphibious, which means it can travel on land and in water. And guess what? It's got a twin-cab design, which makes it look pretty different from other military vehicles. The front cab can fit 5 crew members, including the driver. And in the back, there's room for up to 8 more crew members. That's a total of 13 people. It's like a big armored bus. Now, let's talk power. The BVS-10 is powered by a 5.9-liter turbocharged diesel engine. That means it's got a lot of oomph to tackle tough terrains both on land and in water. So, there you have it. The BVS-10, a unique, fully amphibious armored vehicle with a twin-cab design. It's definitely one of the most interesting military vehicles out there.
Vespa 150 TAP.
It's actually a modified Vespa scooter from the 1950s, but it's not for cruising around town, it's something much more intense. This scooter, known as the 150 TAP or Bazooka Vespa, was transformed into an anti-tank vehicle by the French military. They added a powerful weapon to it, a US-made M2075mm recoilless rifle. This rifle was no joke. It could penetrate armor up to 100mm thick. Can you imagine riding a scooter with a big gun attached to it? That's exactly what the French paratroopers did. They used this weaponized scooter with a 2-man team to wreak havoc on enemy tanks. It was small and fast, making it perfect for surprise attacks. Big Dog. In 2005, a cool robot named Big Dog was made by Boston Dynamics, Foster Miller, and Harvard University Concord Field Station. This robot wasn't for fun. It was meant to help soldiers carry their heavy stuff in places where it's too bumpy for regular vehicles. Big Dog is about 2.5 feet tall, 3 feet long, and weighs 240 pounds. That's like having a big dog with metal legs. But even though it was strong and cool, they stopped working on it in 2015. Why? Because it made too much noise for sneaky military missions. Imagine trying to be quiet with a loud robot around. So, while Big Dog was a cool idea, sometimes things don't work out as planned. VZ-9 Avracar. Military organizations from different countries sometimes work on secret projects to gain an advantage over their enemies. One such project was the Avro-Canada VZ-9 Avracar, which the United States worked on during the Cold War. The goal of this project was to create a super-fast aircraft for combat missions. But unfortunately, it didn't work out as planned. They faced problems with making it go fast and stay stable in the air. Because of these issues, the project got cancelled. ZIL 2906 Screw-Driven Vehicle. Ever wonder how cosmonauts get back to safety after landing in tricky terrains? Well, the Russians have a solution. The ZIL 2906. This unique vehicle, made by the ZIL company, is designed specifically for easy recovery of cosmonauts. It's not your ordinary car, it's a screw-propelled vehicle, which means it has big screws instead of wheels. And guess what? It can go on land and water. Yep, you heard that right, it's amphibious. That means it can drive on water, swampy areas, and even snowy terrain. Talk about versatility. Now, let's talk speed. On water, it can cruise at a maximum speed of 9.9 miles per hour. In the swamp, it can go up to 12 miles per hour. And on snow, it's even faster, reaching speeds of up to 28 miles per hour. Weren't those military vehicles just incredible? We saw tanks that could swim, helicopters that could fly super fast, and so much more. These vehicles are used to keep us safe and protect our countries. Remember, even though they're amazing, they're also very important tools for our defense forces. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.